Alright. Hey guys, I'm the much shorter wrestling guy than my two counterparts because I'm all the way down here.
He's on the small chair. That's right below me.
Alright.
I'm above you.
I've decided to do a round table thing. This is probably like a send-off. This is probably the last time you will see the Oda-kun in a wrestling review for quite some time.
Yay, freedom is mine. You're in.
He's tagging in Penguin because apparently he hates her and wants her to suffer. So,
the basis of our relationship.
Aw.
Got a sinking feeling there?
I do. Alright, so I brought them over and we watched the first ever live SmackDown from August 30th, 2011. Before I go through the match rundown like me and Oda-kun always do, thoughts on the show?
I think my last statement pretty much summed it up, but just in case you weren't paying attention.
It was fighting.
She's new to this in case you couldn't tell.
Hi.
She was the detective. Thoughts on the show? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
It was interesting. I still prefer watching like Jackie Chan movies if I'm gonna watch staged fighting, but
Still, where are you gonna find a 6'7" pasty white guy with red hair?
nowhere.
Yeah. The thing that always draws me in is the unique characters that they get. Sure, you probably get better action from an action movie, but where are you gonna find a sideshow act quite like that anywhere else?
Stop it, you're making me want to yawn.
I'm sorry, it just it was
As you can
so
tell,
boring.
these two really love the show. This is not like our SummerSlam review where we were jacked to the nines after the show. This is literally right after the show ended and the two of them are pretty much ready to call it a night.
Well, there wasn't really anything going on. You didn't even get the matches that you were promised to get. Honestly, who was promised to fight in this that actually fought with each other?
Randy Orton and Christian.
Who won?
That's it.
Randy.
Yay!
We'll get to that.
Okay.
But that's it. Like
I wasn't
it was
sure.
supposed to be Sheamus versus Mark Henry. That didn't happen. Cena versus Del Rio. That didn't happen.
So, before we get the fail wagon too far ahead, we'll just start with the first match, which was John Cena, who's not even supposed to be on SmackDown. They're doing the Super Show thing where all the guys can go to both shows, and if you watch my Raw review, you know it's a bad idea. So we'll go into that in later
Help it.
detail. He's dragging my review down to hell because it's the last one. He doesn't even give a shit. He can't wait for this to be over.
Wee.
All right, first match: John Cena, Wade Barrett. Thoughts? Oda-kun.
Oh my
Stop
God.
yawning and tell me what you thought.
Why was Wade Barrett in this? Of all the people that you could have had run into that ring after Del Rio was like, I don't feel like fighting.
It wasn't even him. It was Ricardo.
You chose Wade Barrett to come and fight Cena. That was like having a midget come and swing his arms at like a professional fighter.
The thought process being that he had a really good match with Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam.
Yeah, but that was Daniel Bryan. We've had this discussion
Who could have a good
already.
match with a kitchen sink and a broomstick?
Exactly. No, she's young.
Yeah. All right, so you didn't like it, is what I'm gathering.
Yes, it was stupid, it was vapid, and it didn't last long enough.
All right. Thoughts? Keeping in mind this is her first full professional wrestling match she's ever seen. Probably not the best way to start, mind you. I would have shown her some good stuff first, but anyway.
What was my longest running time for paying attention to Cena?
9 seconds.
Awesome! 9 seconds! I am stoked! And he's fighting a dude, and they're wearing diapers, and
She was not impressed by John Cena.
his neck is like...
Bulbously large.
I'm gonna get a Yule log at Christmas, it's gonna be his neck, I swear.
So you just can't get past the fact that he's so ridiculously muscular.
It's...
How about his actual wrestling style, from what very little you saw?
9 seconds of throwing people around.
Guys
He's
fall
strong.
down and go boom.
That's pretty much it. That's what I get from Cena. He's strong.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it helps that apparently he's a brony, but...
Yes, well, we all hope to aspire to bronyism someday.
It
There,
at
strong.
least gives me 20% more respect for him.
Alright, so if you couldn't tell, John Cena won this match, and, I mean, does anybody...
I don't even remember what the other guy was.
Wade Barrett?
Sure.
He was British. That was what he was.
Oh, that's his thing.
He's evil and he's British. Yeah.
He didn't have a twirly mustache
No.
or a top hat.
Quiet, no. So yeah, John Cena won the match. I'm not surprised. I thought the match was boring and slow, and to be honest, not necessary at all. And allergies. So yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on. The next match was Sin Cara versus, surprise, surprise, Daniel Bryan.
I like this one.
This one was actually kind of cool. I liked Sin Cara. It's my first time seeing Sin Cara, so...
Thoughts?
Me too.
I like it. I like the...
First time seeing anybody.
I like the mask. He's got this really rocking mask. It's actually better than Ray's in my opinion. And there was like right at the end, he like shakes his hand and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He's like a hero thing, and then he kicks him in the head. I'm like, oh, that's not cool.
Are you serious? Like, clinched it for me.
I was like,
this is the greatest Power Ranger villain ever.
Isn't he though?
Yeah, I was waiting
That
for him to
monster.
just strike like a... Oh.
So, thoughts on the match?
I liked it.
Scummy superpower.
Did you like Sin Cara?
Yes.
Did you like Daniel Bryan?
The kicky guy?
Yeah.
No.
No? I'm
Daniel
surprised.
Bryan can do a much better
Daniel
match.
Bryan is one of my favorite current
He
wrestlers.
was wearing the flame underpants, wasn't he?
They were white.
Yes. It looked like they were like red flames.
No, they were supposed to be bamboo shoes. Yeah.
Obviously, the man's never seen bamboo.
He's a vegan.
Play more Minecraft.
He's kind of got this job, I don't know if you could tell,
What?
where he goes into the ring and has matches. That's probably why he's not playing a whole lot of Minecraft. By any
He
means.
needs
No
a better
excuse.
job.
There is no excuse.
The match
to
was
not
actually
play
quite
Minecraft.
good. Sin Cara didn't mess much up. He did mess up one thing, but I don't think anyone even noticed.
I think he did that on
He did a
purpose.
head scissors, and it looked like he kind of fell off him at the end, and then Daniel Bryan just kind of fell over.
Yeah.
It was still a pretty cool match.
Yes. I like his DDT lion salt finisher thing. You know, the moonsault on the second rope.
Yeah, that
See,
kinda
I was under the impression that it's supposed to take place inside the ring, but apparently not.
Well, it depends on who you're wrestling, right? Some people wrestle inside the ring with ground stuff. Others go to the air. Others bore the crap out of you while trying to stumble around the ring. But,
And then there's Spider-Man.
and then there's Spider-Man, who could beat Bonesaw McGriff. Now I ask you, why didn't they sign him right there?
There you go.
All right,
I
so-
demand to see the man spider on the next one.
You-
The human spider.
Human Spider.
You better be in the next one.
Final thoughts on the match before we move on? Anyone?
I like his costume.
All right then. And for you?
Costume was cool.
Yeah, okay. He doesn't have a costume. That's pretty much as much as I'll add. Oh my god. Oh yes, Natalia and Beth Phoenix versus Kelly Kelly and Alicia Fox.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
AKA Rhiannon.
I wasn't paying attention.
Ryu?
Oh, Real Ladies versus Barbie and Friends?
Yes, that'd be the one.
Well, that was interesting. The commentator reminded me of half of that evil team from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Natasha.
Yeah, that's the one.
Natasha and Boris.
It was interesting.
Beth Phoenix continues to impress me.
Yeah, I was actually pretty impressed.
That's pretty much all I got.
Socked it to the flat chair.
I really can't think of I really wasn't paying attention.
The only part I liked was when Natalia had Kelly up and then just kind of dropped her on her face.
I loved Kelly's wig falling off.
You like that? You like that? Clearly it's her natural hair, right?
Oh, obviously. I'm sorry. Did I say
Yeah,
wig?
you did, I know. It's not like she's... Yeah, anyway. She's 21, by the way, so she's technically a year younger than you are. Yeah, think about that for a minute. You didn't want to know where she's been. I can tell you some stories. Anyway, the match lasted a grand total of 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people.
That's like John Cena and that.
That's how much they care about the Divas. I'm pretty sure the bad team won, right?
The heels?
Yes.
I learned a new word.
Oh, yes, the heels. Beth Phoenix and Natalia won them. What are you doing?
I do not care.
All right, this is going to be one of the worst reviews ever. All right, moving on.
This is about the same thing I always say whenever we talk about the Diva
You're more
matches.
animated usually, though. You're like,
You're dying on the vine, bruh.
Huh?
You're dying on the vine, bruh.
Yeah.
Okay, give me something good to
All
talk
right,
about.
next we got Sheamus and the Great Khali.
Oh, there you go. We can talk about that.
All right, take it.
Okay, well, it was stupid too, because
Well, yeah, clear.
honestly, we had Sheamus versus the really big guy, or Sheamus versus the really big guy, and they just chose
or
the stupider
Sheamus
one.
versus the really big guy with the really small guy.
Yeah, so we chose that one over the other one, so it wasn't
And as
like
for the
we
match
were
itself?
fighting. Huh?
As for the match itself,
I kind of was watching on and off. There was something running into the ring and hitting Sheamus. I don't know, something small and brown and kept running around. It was really
He tore off his
stupid.
bandages.
Yeah,
Bandages?
leave his bandages alone.
Yes.
He's obviously wearing
the
them
only
for
way
a
I can
reason.
tell where his skin ends and his tight start. God damn it.
Wearing bandages. I noticed there was something on his leg before I noticed he was wearing bandages.
Thoughts on your first
I liked it.
sight of Sheamus?
It was really interesting, and I was The
interesting.
Great Khali.
You're saying
like,
it's interesting about the... The only part that I really liked is when she remembered that he was inside Get Smart.
And the longest
This
yard.
is just such a bitch.
Yeah. He's a great actor, I'll give him that. Academy Awards just lined up on the mantelpiece.
Well, that's the Great Khali for you.
I did like Seamus though.
He's got an interesting
He's
look.
amusing. He's got an interesting look. I think if they put him in the next Boondocks Saints, if they ever make another one,
Boondock
Yeah,
Saints
right
3.
I would have to go watch it.
Oh, man.
Well, I'd have to watch it anyway.
Well,
Oh, like another. Oh, it'd be cool if he was like the villain, and there was like another. He was like another saint idea, and he comes
Oh,
to.
man.
Fuck Saints, he's the Archangel.
He's
of
the
that.
archangel in the.
You imagine him
Comes
doing a
to-
Castiel for a couple of episodes? I could see it. He's white enough. Well, I will say this. The Great Khali can't do a whole lot. So,
I'm
So they had to get another wrestler to come in and help him.
but Sheamus tried. I'll give him that. He tried to get something out
I'm
of him.
surprised they don't have a special move for Khali where he just uses his chin.
Well, his special is the Hassan
I'm
Chop.
pretty sure he'd give Jay Leno a run for
Yes,
his
he
money.
certainly would. If he could reach his chin, the guy's a giant.
Just
Um,
poke each other's eyes out when they walk in the room. Ow!
Anyway, the match. Khali, sad to say, is a former world champion.
Hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sorry?
He's big, you see.
That's about it. That's all we can really
Okay.
say about that match.
So they thought, I know, let's make him the main attraction on one of the shows. People will come and see it.
Awesome.
Might about as well as you think. You know, a lead balloon full of fat people.
All I can really say is it was Sheamus versus the big guy, or Sheamus versus the big guy with the little manager, and that's what they chose. It would have been exactly the same if he faced Mark Henry, although he might have lost.
In this case, he won, but only because his manager ran in and attacked him. And the weird thing is, his manager ran in and attacked him, and then Sheamus just beat the crap out of him. So I was
Yeah.
kind of confused by that, because they were trying to double team him, and it didn't work.
That's when I stopped paying attention, is when Great Khali needed help.
Great Khali. Oh, the other thing that she was noticing was Khali was chopping the crap out of Sheamus's chest, and it was turning bright red.
Yeah, he's slapping him.
That's
It's
what
not
I
even like
do.
a cool slap, it's just like,
And when you
He's
consider
like,
his hand is probably bigger than your whole head. That's
It's
pretty
probably just because Sheamus doesn't have enough hair to really grab a hold onto. Otherwise, he would have been pulling hair and biting and nails and stuff. Actually, I'm surprised the Divas did better than him.
sad state.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. After that they showed, I mentioned this on my Raw review, but I'll mention it again. They showed the Inside Out trailer for Triple H's new movie.
Oh,
You mean they just showed the movie?
Yeah.
I like I said before, the WWE does not have a good track record of making movies. If you've watched any of them, The Marine, Marine 2, 12 Rounds, The Chaperone, That's Who I Am, or That's What I Am, that's what it is, That's What I Am, starring international star Randy Orton. Oh, and See No Evil, a horror movie so bad the Gorgal wouldn't touch it.
Wait a second. I think I've seen that one.
What, See No Evil? It's
think
about a
so.
guy who collects eyeballs, and he lives in an abandoned prison.
Oh, no, I'm thinking Hear No Evil, and that stars a deaf chick.
No,
Never mind.
He's a big honking 7-foot guy, ripping people's eyeballs out. His name is Jacob Goodnight. It's based off an Asian movie of some kind.
Of course it is.
Oh yes.
7-inch peak.
Anyway,
That's
it's like
a good
having a
movie.
trailer for a TV promo or like
Actually,
a big
no, it was
season
like-
premiere for something.
It was
when
like they
felt
cut out of commercials suddenly to show this really bad sitcom about how Triple H is a good guy.
coming this fall. About Triple H.
Oh my.
Any movie that has Triple H is just bound
Oh,
for...
I'm saying this out of order, but next is the contract signing between CM Punk and Triple H.
This was amusing.
I thought there was going to be a match.
I have to say, CM Punk continues to amaze me by being more entertaining by talking than he is by wrestling. Which isn't to say he's a bad wrestler, because he certainly isn't. But he just has a way of expressing himself that most wrestlers lack in this day and age.
You mean he's got brain cells?
To make fun of another wrestler in a way that even non-wrestling fans will understand is harder to do than you think.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was actually engaged in this entire thing, and I usually am not for the rest of the wrestling stuff.
He's an intriguing character. To tell you the truth, I'm not even sure what his character is anymore, because he doesn't really talk about straight edge anymore. Now he seems to be more on fighting the conspiracy.
I thought he was going to be like a rebel, like he was going to
He still technically is,
like
because he's fighting the establishment.
Well, yeah, but I figured like he was trying to start like a rebel movement, and there was going to be like protesting and stuff like that going on. I figured that's where this was going to go, and he was all like, "I'm going to lead an army against
The voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, it's going to be another New World Order all over again.
Oh my
So,
God. Please.
My God, they're in my eyes. Big.
For the second time since Triple H has said a promo, he has said, and I quote, "I'm going to kick CM Punk's skinny fat ass."
What?
Which continues. The first time was an accident. The second time they think this is funny. It's neither.
Go.
Bigger on the inside.
Oh, okay.
You know the team's name. Bam. Big ass motherfuckers.
Bigger.
All right. So, thoughts on CM Punk, Otakun,
Huh?
and this intriguing development in his match with Triple H?
CM Punk is cool. I like CM Punk. He should be facing Del Rio now to get his championship back, not
It's no longer his destiny.
Destiny. Oh my.
Well, do you think the match
That's
between him and Triple H will be any good?
Huh?
Do you think the match between him and Triple H will be any good?
No.
I think Triple H can put together a match when it really counts.
Well, I hope you're right.
His match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania was good.
Yeah, but
Now, I know you're thinking The Undertaker is The Undertaker and CM Punk is not The Undertaker.
yeah.
However, CM Punk has had not one, but two really good matches with John Cena.
This is true.
So there is hope.
But then again, it was mostly because we were so surprised the fact that CM was becoming so
Incredibly popular. My God.
Now that we know, like we're just expecting it now, it's kind of like, oh, there's CM. He's so popular now.
Well,
So is it that we were just so shocked that we had
a new guy, a new star.
a new star before, and that's why we're like, oh, well, now that was a good match because he's such a big star now. I know we're gonna go back and be like, oh, well.
No. What about you? What are your thoughts on CM Punk?
I liked him. Like I said, he was engaging. He does his job well. He plays off Triple H's big bad dad thing
Yeah,
that he's
you
got
like
going. He's like, you've got no more allowance this month, mister. And CM Punk's like, fuck you, dad, fight in the state. So it was nice. I liked it. I mean, like,
I'm talking, you will listen to me.
exactly. It's like, sit down, shut up. I have experience. You're just some damn ass punk.
Yes, Dad.
Like, yeah, I liked it.
And were you a fan of Triple H? Or was his authoritarian role a little too been there, done that?
I can't take him seriously. I'm sorry, especially after that Inside Out thing.
At the movie, yeah, well.
The movie thing. I'm like, really, guy.
He's
and
the
then,
COO.
I have no idea what that is. Is that an actual thing?
Yes, it is.
Is it an actual thing?
Chief Operating
An officer.
No, I know, but that sounds so made up.
Now, mind you, in the WWE, there is no such thing as that actual position. But in companies, that does in fact exist. Why they wouldn't just call him the CEO or the general manager or the... You know,
General manager makes you sound like you're running McDonald's.
they've had general managers for the last 4 years. They had, at one point, Raw had a new general manager every week, and they were celebrity guests, ranging from Ozzy Osbourne, who's awesome, to NASCAR drivers, who are not awesome.
Although I would like to see Danica Patrick trying to run the WWE.
You know what I want to see?
Yeah.
Is that one preacher, boogity boogity boogity.
Amen.
Yeah. Doing that.
But
That'd be
anyway,
amazing.
One of the
Triple
guys
H-
like the rent is too damn high party doing it. I would love to see that guy coming too.
Yeah.
Commentate.
They just start having like internet famous people, internet celebrities.
well, they had one. They had the Miz girl. Do you remember her? Miz girl? Oh, you don't remember her. Gorgal might if she were here. It was the girl that gave the death glare to the Miz after he won the WWE Championship for the very first time.
What?
Yes, I will have to show you that. That is an interesting glare from a 9-year-old.
For a 9-year-old.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But yes, I do not like Triple H at all. But the alternative was a match with Kevin Nash, and that guy is the most useless piece of crap I have ever seen in my life.
That wouldn't happen.
That guy can't even tie his shoes, and they want to put him in the ring.
They would not put Kevin Nash back into the ring. So.
And oh,
I don't know who that is.
Kevin Nash was the big hulking fellow who came down afterwards
And
during
then
the
just
contract.
beat
Oh
everybody
yeah.
up, yeah.
He just like came in.
He's like,
bam,
I'm going to beat
bam.
everybody up now. All right, I feel great. I'm going to go back inside.
Yeah.
Use all bitches.
He was in the Punisher movie. That's how most people remember him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he was the Russian.
The Russian.
We
Now,
talked about that last time.
like I said, on every review, and I will say this every time Kevin Nash is mentioned, he is the most worthless wrestler I have ever seen. He can't walk, talk, act, or wrestle.
And he's in his opening.
Yeah. And you know what he does in my opening? He tags in, walks across the ring, and completely blows out his knee by doing absolutely nothing.
Wow.
My God. If there were a way to just remove this man from wrestling, I would have less gray hairs, let me tell you.
Anyway.
If you can't tell, I don't like him. He comes out and attacks CM Punk. Because
He can?
plot demands it.
Plot? What? This has plot? You're silly.
You kidding with all the diapers they're wearing? Of course it has
Oh,
plot.
and after this,
You're watching it for the plot.
they had a poll to determine who was going to win the cage match, Christian or Randy Orton. They never actually showed you the results.
No,
I
we
imagine
did. It was there. We just weren't paying attention.
Oh, I imagine it was 98% for Randy Orton and
yeah,
2
I think
for
that
Christian.
it was like, yeah, 2,
Christian only had 1.
Yeah, 1%
Because you're
Christian.
like, oh my gosh, he's only got 1%. And we're like, what's going on?
Now, I will say this. I need to go into a mini rant here, and I don't know if Oda-kun will agree with me. This is now the 6th time Randy Orton and Christian have wrestled each other on pay-per-view or TV, and really, it's getting old.
I don't
Do you
want
call
to
that wrestling? Because it looks like Randy Orton's trying to catch a squirrel that's trying desperately to escape.
To escape. I like watching a cat play with a spoon.
I was actually talking before the match even started. It's just, it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you keep fighting the same guy over and over, there's just only so much you can do. You can put the 2 guys in there that can do 17 somersaults and, you know, land on Mars.
I will say one thing, though. I am so glad they didn't try and break through a table this time.
My God.
If you had given them enough time and Randy enough, you know, leverage, they would have jumped off the top of that cage.
I don't know.
eventually,
I'm tired of the match. I don't know if Oda-kun is. I'm just tired of seeing it.
I don't want to see Randy.
Move on. Christian can fight someone else. Randy
It's
can
my
fight.
first time.
He's whining.
And you know what? Because of that, I will do this. What did you think of the cage match? You saw it. This is your first time watching them wrestle. This is my 6th or
I
7th.
thought that Christian was a bloody little pansy. I mean, he's like,
As
oh,
the-
open door, let's go.
I should point out, as the heel, it's his job to look inferior.
Wait, I thought Randy's supposed to be the heel.
No, Randy's a good guy.
Oh, that's so
The good guy psychopath who knees people in the head and puts them out of action permanently.
I'm such a good guy. I'm so good.
He's got intermittent explosive diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Dum-ba-dum.
Randy Orton is supposed to be the good guy if you couldn't tell in this match, and Christian is supposed to be the bad guy. He
Yeah,
can't.
but,
He
like,
can't beat
There's
Randy.
bad guy. Like, saying that Christian is a bad guy is like saying that Draco Malfoy overshadows Voldemort. I'm sorry.
Dum-dum-dum.
I will just say this: to me, their feud reminds me a lot of Thor and Loki. Loki. I mentioned this before. Loki can't beat Thor in a fair fight. He has to outsmart him. So in a cage, there's really nothing Christian can do, ergo he can't win. So what's his best bet? Run like hell. But he can't get away, because there's nowhere to go. Well,
Yeah.
actually there's places he could go, but he's just not fast enough.
But Loki is tricky and clever, while Christian
no,
just runs around and then tries to grab him and throw him.
You saw the match. It was in the preview video where Christian got Randy so pissed off that he got disqualified and lost his title.
Yeah.
That's outsmarting it.
No, that is, oh, I'm going to make him kick me in the balls. That doesn't sound like a plan that it would ever, anyway. Okay, all right. Let's say that there was a contest, and you could only win if I was disqualified, and being disqualified meant kicking you in the nuts. Would you honestly get me mad enough so I could kick you in the nuts so you could win something?
If I leave with a world title and $500,000, hell yeah.
After kicking you in the... No! I wouldn't allow you to kick me in the nuts to win anything.
Well,
Dude, I kind of enjoy my nuts.
so do I, but you're the heel.
I have no place in the conversation.
You're not kicking them off.
No, but it would hurt.
It would be like if you kicked her in the ovaries. I'm sure she
For a
wouldn't like
while.
it, but
I'm sorry, dude. No.
The ovary.
No champion.
I'm pretty sure if someone said to you, I'm going to kick you in the ovaries one time, and yeah, it'll hurt, but you get $250,000 in this big shiny belt. You cool with it?
No.
No. I better be more than $250,000.
You know why?
$75,000.
I have my pride.
Alright.
Dude,
Oh.
$75,000 is not worth all the pain.
Sorry. He said $250,000.
Oh, right, so $25,000.
No, your math is still off.
Bum, bum, bum.
$250,000.
Still. Oh, full. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still.
That's a lot of money.
You're off by a zero.
Not enough.
Anyway, that's my theory.
Not hitting the 75,000.
The match itself, you didn't like, you did like. Aside from the running
I
away.
bet you if it wasn't Randy Orton and Christian, I'd probably like cage matches a little more. I mean...
Now, are you souring on wrestlers already after watching them one time? Because that happens, I've found. There are just certain guys that you just don't take to.
Well...
Like Christian, I guess?
I don't like Christian at all. Randy Orton, really, aside from being aesthetically pleasing, is pretty much nothing.
Much like John Cena.
Like, yeah. The ones that I liked are the ones with the personalities. You got Sheamus, you got, first personality Sheamus has. Then you've got Sin Cara, which is the other person I liked, and then CM Punk has this great personality.
It amazes me that you like Sin Cara's personality because he didn't say a word. Not one.
that's part of the character he plays, though, and it's great. He plays it up visually. Whereas all these other guys are like, I talk big.
Whereas, that's why I like CM Punk. He doesn't talk big, he talks smart.
Yeah, which is probably why I like him too. Most of these guys are like, Brr. I like that giant guy, the...
Collie.
Mark?
Oh, Mark
Mark.
Henry.
Mark.
Who comes
I mean,
down
like,
2 blocks
to
across.
the ring.
He comes down in the cage, and I'm like, when did you get here?
How did nobody see you coming is my question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Randy Orton won the match. For
Yep.
the 1% of you who didn't vote against him, you're an idiot. Or did vote against him, I should say. And afterwards, Mike Henry comes out and beats the crap out of Randy Orton because they're going to fight each other at Night of Champions for the World title.
When's that?
That's 2 weeks from today.
Okay.
But you're more than welcome to attend.
Alright.
You can watch 2 blocks across. You'll also watch, I'll run down the card right now for what we know. You'll also see John Cena and Del Rio, who you didn't see tonight.
Is Del Rio interesting?
Well, I like
It is
Gaston.
Alright, I'm good with that.
I think the only other match set in stone is Dolph Ziggler and Alex Riley.
When are Triple H and...
Oh, and them too, right.
Okay.
Triple H and CM Punk.
I do want to see that.
That should be good.
Like, this has piqued my interest.
And that's hard to do.
It is,
Especially in a medium that you have almost no experience in and no
Yeah.
desire to have an interest in.
Yeah.
So, that was SmackDown. Final thoughts?
Goodbye! I can't wait to get out of here. No, I'm joking. It was okay.
He really doesn't like doing the reviews with me if you can't tell.
It was
He
fine.
didn't even bring
It
his uniform. That's how little he cared.
Yeah, I was like...
I didn't really
I'm
bring
not-
my uniform
No, it
either,
was more of
so-
the fact that I have to work and I don't want to drag it to work. Because then I'll smell like
If
coffee.
you wonder what the
and it'll be
Otakun
gross.
does for a
Don't tell them, honestly. I like to keep my pride.
Hold on, I was just gonna say, he Otakuns.
Yeah, that's what I do. I
Yeah, he
know.
Otakuns. What a...
Because, you know, I make so much money off my videos that I don't even have to work anymore.
From his extremely rich 4 fans.
Yeah.
That one kid that keeps... Oh, I probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
Fine.
he knows who he
Yeah, all right.
You
Anyway.
know who you are.
Anyway, yeah, for all of you loyal fans out there,
Don't do that.
3 out of my 5 fans are in this room. So, okay, so that was your final thought on SmackDown. What about you?
I'd like to go back and see more before I can really formulate an opinion
Based on
on...
what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, like, I only saw a little bit tonight. I'm sure there's other people that are more dynamic in matches against each other.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to see something like that before I decide whether wrestling... It's probably really not for me, but if I'm watching it with somebody else, then it's probably more.
I've noticed that it's better in a group atmosphere.
Yeah.
If you're watching it with someone, especially someone like me, who is a large fan, both figuratively and literally, you can feed off their energy. I find it's the same no matter what you're watching.
It's true, you
if
get a
you're-
bit of a hive mind when it comes to sports.
If you're, and it's not even sports. I like to watch anime with the Otakun on occasion, but when he tells me to watch a show by myself, it just doesn't have the same kick to it. If you watch it with someone who loves it, who understands it, who likes it, you find yourself, why are they so happy? You want to find out. You want to
Yeah,
know.
it's true. You start to empathize with them.
Like, I
So-
never watched wrestling by myself. I mean, I took the Macho Man DVD from you and I
But
watched
then
that.
again, he's the greatest of all
But
time.
that was pretty cool,
So
so...
you can't argue against the Macho Man.
No.
Oh,
So-
on Raw, CM Punk once again did the Macho Elbow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did it
on
again?
the Miz.
So that's going to be a thing now?
Well, he didn't win with it, but that seems to be just a transition move for him now. I'm cool with that.
I don't care.
Greatest of all time.
I'm glad that he's bringing it back. He's going to take it back.
He was Bonesaw.
Yes, I know. I remember this much.
He was also on an episode of Dexter's Laboratory for anyone who used to watch
What?
that show. Yes.
Yeah.
He was in the Monkey episode where he fought Wrestler.
He was also in... Was that the one where they brought, like, all the heroes to the arena or
Yes, and
something?
they fought.
Yeah.
He was Wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
All right.
Just for that.
So, you're intrigued.
I am. I'd like to keep watching.
Well, so long as there's a wrestling guy, there'll always be a TV screen with wrestling on it.
Yeah.
That is my worst catchphrase ever. I'm editing that out.
That's like me saying, as long as I'm Otakun, there will always be anime somewhere to watch.
Well, it's probably true.
There's
You
going to
know
be
how
anime
easy it
whether
would
or not
be-
there's an Otakun or not.
You know how easy it would be for me to find a wrestling review? I can go to Japan,
Actually, I should
go
be
to
more
Mexico.
specific. As long as I'm Otakun, there will always be bad anime. Well, okay.
All right, well, that was our thoughts on SmackDown, August 30th, 2011. The consensus I'm getting is that it was a slow but watchable show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that statement.
I don't know when we're going to have the Otakun back. I don't believe he'll be here for Night of Champions. I have to play it by ear.
That's what I'm coming to, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll see.
Hangin will be here. I'm
I'll
trying to
be
give
here.
her. I'm trying to give her a plug. with the 4 or 5 fans that I've got.
Yeah.
Watch her videos when
don't have any
when
up
she gets
yet.
around to making them.
Thank you.
She's a very intriguing and interesting character. Much like the Oda-kun, who I try to plug as often as I can.
Who doesn't?
And I also try to plug the Gorgal, who has intriguing videos as well. Anyway, those were our thoughts on SmackDown. I guess you'll see me again flying solo when I do my Raw review next Monday on West Penguin Stops By. She's welcome to, but I don't know.
With the Oda next Monday.
Yeah, she's okay.
Well,
Sorry.
it'll just be me flying solo then.
She's helping me
I'll have someone with
move
me.
to my new location.
Well, I'll have at least one person with me for Night of Champions in
Yes.
2 weeks. So, I don't know if she has a tagline to sign off.
No.
No? You're going to go with goodbye? Alright. Alright.
Welcome.
And this is not...
This is not the Otaku review.
Oh, no, you didn't. Alright.
Oh dear Lord.
Till next time, guys.